Hi, everybody. This lesson is on Destiny and how to use Destiny. The first part of it was going over some of the vocabulary words that are going to be important for you to understand while you are using Destiny. So the first thing I want to show you is how to get there. And you're going to get there by by logging into the computer. You're going to be on the student desktop, and then you're going to come over here and you're going to go to Google Chrome. And when you open Google Chrome, this is what you're going to get. Okay, you're going to get this screen. And in order to get to Destiny, you're going to go up here to the upper left-hand corner, and right underneath the little home button, you're going to see something that says managed bookmark. So you should be looking up here where my mouse is moving around. It's the plus sign moving around. And there's a folder that says managed bookmarks. This is also how we learned how to get to Office 365, is by managed bookmarks. So once you click on that manage bookmarks, you're going to get a drop down menu. And if you go to Follett Destiny, that is going to take you right to Destiny. And this is what it's going to look like. Okay, this is the screen you're going to get. It's going to look a little bit different than mine because I'm on a Mac and you're on a PC. So just be aware that there are going to be some differences. But what you're going to do is you're going to go to Papillion Middle School. And then once you get here, we are going to look at the catalog tab. So up here in the upper left-hand corner of the window, you're going to see the home tab is underlined in orange and the catalog tab is right next to it. So if we're going to work with the home tab later. Right now we're going to focus on catalog. So this is something that many of you probably saw in elementary school if you went to a Papillion La Vista elementary school. This is how a lot of librarians teach their students to search for books. But there is a tool that is so much easier to use that I want to introduce to you guys, and it's called Destiny Discover. So after you go to the catalog tab, if you look over here to the left, Destiny Discover is right underneath Destiny Quest. And if some of you used Destiny Quest in the past, that's cool. The company that makes Destiny is no longer supporting Destiny Quest. So it's still there, but it's not super functional. Destiny Discover is a great tool that we're going to use in here. So that's what I prefer you guys use. So when you click on Destiny Discover, it might take a couple of seconds to load. You just have to be patient for that. And then here you go. This is what you see. And so one thing I really love about it is I love how easy it is to identify books that are available and books that are checked out. So you can see these are the popular titles in our library. Stand Tall and Giver are popular because those were the two ELA novels that 7th and 8th grade read this first quarter. But here's some of the other books that are popular. And you can see right here, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. You know that's in the library because it's got that little green corner with the in. The Scorch Trials is checked out. And you can tell that because it's got the red corner and says out. So very easy to identify books that are here in the library and books that are not. It breaks it down into different categories. So if you want a popular title, boom, right here. And if you want to see all, right here at the end of that list of books, you can click that and it'll give you more titles that are checked out often. Recently added books. So books, if you're a reader who likes to read newer books that have just come in, this is a great place to look. And again, it also has a see all button at the end. It also has a topic section. And you might also know topics by the word genre. And so we do not organize our library by genre. We organize it in alphabetical order by author's last name. And so topics are a really good way for you to be able to find a book genre and read a book in a particular genre without having to ask somebody, hey, what genre is this? Or where is the science fiction section? And then down here, there are ebooks, but I'm going to tell you right now, I do not buy ebooks. If these are here, it's because they were ordered on accident or we've gotten them for free. And the reason I don't order ebooks is because not every kid has a device available to them at all times that they can read an ebook on. But you can always check out a book from the library. So So this first screen, I just wanted to make you aware, it does have a search bar at the top here. So if you're looking for something specifically, you can type that in. If you want to change your search, you hit this plus sign at the end of the search bar. And here it gives you different options for searching. The default is set to keyword. But if you want to search by a title or an author or a subject, a series, you can always do that. It also has some limiters here where if you want to check for reading levels or something like that, you can do that too. So that's how you change the search options. Most of the time, keyword will work just fine. So let's talk about how we find books in the library. So let's use The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Okay, so The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, you can see right here that it has a call number, and every book in the library has a call number, and that is what we use to find books. So I'm going to come over here to Destiny Notes and scroll down a little bit, and go ahead and take a second right now and write this down, what's highlighted on your screen. The call numbers tell where the book is in the library. First part of a call number tells what section the book is in, and the second part of a call number tells specifically where to find the book in a section. So you need to write that down, type that in your Destiny Notes section. So go ahead and pause the video, and then once most kids are done, then you can restart it. Okay, so after you have that written down, let's talk about this first kind of call number. So you can see that this call number says FIC. And if anybody wants to take a guess what FIC stands for, you can go ahead and pause the video and raise hands and decide that. But if you guessed fiction, you were right. So FIC stands for fiction, and the fiction section is the section that wraps all the way around the library against the wall. And it is organized in alphabetical order by author's last name. So this first part, FIC, this tells that it's in the fiction section. And the fiction section is organized in ABC order by author's last name. So BOY tells where in the fiction section it's located. And there are blue cards at the top of each stack of books that tell you what letters are on that shelf alphabetically. So for BOY, you would have to find the shelf that talks about the B's, and then specifically where that would fall, and then find that book on the shelf. So here's your next thing to write down. Okay, so fiction books, books that are made up. So that's really important. Fiction books are made up. They are not true. They are stories. Call numbers start with F, FIC, or PB. Call numbers end with the first three letters of the author's last name. And then the fiction section is arranged in ABC order. So pause the video now. Everybody type that up. And after that, we'll move on. Okay, so we have that. Let's look at another type of book. I'm going to do a search for dogs. Okay. Oh, this is fun. This is new over here on the side. You can also filter, which means you can narrow down your search. So that's fun. So if you want to play with that a little bit on your own time, you can. So here we have 3 books right here. You can see that The Dogs of War 2, Duke, that is fiction, FIC. A Dog's Purpose, Puppy Tales, Molly's Story, that is fiction. But up here, you have a different kind of book. And this book has a call number that is actually a number. And I'm going to skip that one because it doesn't have a full call number for some reason. Here we go. Let's do this one. This Dogs and Puppies. So I'm going to click on this title. And again, you can see the call number here. Instead of it starting with F, FIC, or PB, it starts with 743.6. It starts with a number. And that's because books that start with call numbers that are numbers are nonfiction or true books with facts or true stories. So 743.6 STA The STA is still the last or the first three letters of the author's last name. So here's your next note to take. Nonfiction books. Nonfiction books are books that have real information. Call numbers start with numbers. Call numbers end with the first three letters of the author's last name. And nonfiction section is arranged in numerical order. So the nonfiction section are the shelves that are in the middle of the library. They're the shelves that we would hide in between if we had a lock down and hide. But we start with 0 and we work our way all the way up to 999.9. So they go from least to greatest. Okay, so take a minute, pause the video, and then what's on the screen, you need to go ahead and write that in your notes. I can make those a little bit bigger too. There we go. Okay, so what's highlighted, that's what you need to type up in your Destiny notes. Once everybody's had a chance to do that, go ahead and start the video again. Okay, so we've talked about fiction, we've talked about nonfiction. We have two other kinds of books to talk about. So one type of book that we're going to talk about, and this book is checked out right now, but this Dogs of War book, this book starts with a number, so you would automatically think, oh, that book is nonfiction. But this is a special kind of nonfiction book. This call number, 741.5, is a graphic novel. And a graphic novel is a type of book that it's kind of written in the format of comics, like comic strips, but it's an entire story, an entire novel. Our our graphic novel section is at the end of our fiction section. So if you were to wrap all the way around the library over by the computers, you would see a section called graphic novels. And that's where, if this book was in, that's where it would be located. The three letters at the end, like in this case, the KEE, it's either one of two things. It is either the author or it's the illustrator. It just depends on how the book is cataloged. So this one happens to be the author, because right here it says the author is Sheila Keenan. Okay, so 741.5 are graphic novels. So that's what we have to write next. Okay, so here are the graphic novel notes. Go ahead and type that up in your notebook. And then after that, we'll continue. So go ahead and pause the video now to type that up, and then we'll continue afterwards. Okay, there's one more kind of book that we need to talk about today. And let me see if I can find that type of book. Here we go. So this is the last type of book that we need to talk about. This type of book starts with 92 or 920. And it ends with the last name of the person who the book is about. So these kind of books are biographies. Biographies are books about people's lives. So it starts with 92 or 920. And then instead of just like the author's last name, it's who the person is about. So our biography section is actually at the very end of our nonfiction section. It is the shelf that faces the maker space. So it's nonfiction, but it faces the maker space in our library, and it's organized by who the book is about. So all the 92s and 920s are together, and then they're organized in ABC order by who the book is about. So if you were looking for a book on John Adams, it would be towards the beginning of the section. If you were looking for a book on Abraham Lincoln, it would be towards the middle of the section, because L is towards the middle of the alphabet. And if you were looking for a book about George Washington, it would be towards the end of the alphabet, since W is close to the end. So we have another section we need to add. Okay, so here is the biography information. So go ahead and pause the video, get that all typed up in your notebooks. And that should be about all that you have time for today. So now would probably be a good time to put your computers away if you're in class. If you're at home and you're watching this video, go ahead and continue. But for the purpose of class, this is where we're going to stop for today. So if you are at home watching this because you need a refresher or because you missed class, we're going to talk about a few other things that are important for you to know. So I'm going to go back to a fiction book. Let's see, how about this one? So one thing that I really like about Destiny Discover is that when you click on a book, this more info down here gives you a ton of information, as well as right underneath the title of the book. Right underneath the title of the book, you see right here exactly what the book is about. That way you're not judging a book by its cover or by the title of the book. You can also come down here and look the reading level, the interest level. You can also see how many copies we have in our building, as well as copies in other buildings. That way, if you want to put a hold on a book at another building, you're able to do that. This share piece is really, really important. You're going to need this for one of your assignments for the book list. So this share is really important. This is also a way that if you want to show somebody a book, you can send them this link and they'll be able to see that book. If you click on explore, it gives you subjects, and it also tells you if the book is in a series or not. So that is some awesome things that you can use this for. You're also going to see over here the you may also like, and that gives you suggestions for other books that you might be interested in if you find a book that you want. I like to use this for if I am going to try and find a book that I'm interested, like if I don't know what I want to read, but I know that there are other books that I've liked. So let's say that I have liked Wild Bird. So here's Wild Bird. I can click on this book, and then over here on the side, it tells me other books that I might also like. One of the biggest questions that kids ask me is, can you recommend a book for me? And that looks different for every single kid because every kid likes to read different things. So if you can type in the name of a book that you've found in the past that you've liked, Destiny Discover will give you some suggestions for other books that you might also like. So that is a really cool feature. I think that's it. I hope that this video helped you understand how to use Destiny Discover a little better, and we will be practicing this as well as using it for the Destiny Scavenger Hunt. So as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks, guys.